Or visit carshow.com/Levin, 800-898-6155, or carshow.com/LEVIN. Call now. Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, Viagra is not the answer for your problem. I know you think it is, but Viagra has horrible side effects, and for most men, the longer you're on it, the less it works. Viagra is not a curative medication. It's not fixing your problem. It's a Band-Aid for a shark bite. Acoustic wave therapy is the newest technology that can correct your problem, not just treat it. We can do something that no pill can do. We can restore your blood flow naturally. Get off Viagra today. Change your life like the thousands of men who already have, regardless of your age or your medical history. If you're tired of dealing with Peyronie's disease or erectile dysfunction, then call West Coast Men's Health today.
With clinics in San Mateo, Pleasanton, Walnut Creek, and Elk Grove, call 650-649-7944. That's 650-649-7944. 650-649-7944. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
The last time you checked your house for termites was probably when you bought your house. How long has that been? This is Joe Starkey. With one call to Pacific Coast Termite, a uniformed inspector will come to your home or business and answer your questions and inspect your property. Now, even if you don't think you have termites, yikes, I recommend you call Pacific Coast Termite for a free home inspection to make sure. Certain restrictions apply. If you do have termites, they can get rid of them with no tenting, no double bagging your food, no pet sitting. You can even be home while they do their work. Try doing that when there's a tent over your house. Get 10% off termite treatments and a 2-year guarantee on their work. Call 800-PACIFIC. That's 800-PACIFIC, or go to PacificCoastTermite.com.
Pacific Coast Termite kills termites
The clean, friendly way.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
In today's digital age, where cyber threats loom larger than ever, safeguarding your personal information is paramount. So why is Congress considering a law that could put your credit card data at greater risk of being hacked and exposed to foreign networks? This Durbin-Marshall credit card bill could jeopardize your financial data, make it more susceptible to cyber intrusions. It's a controversial bill that proposes a shift in billions of dollars worth of consumer transactions to payment networks that lack the robust security measures consumers rely on. Who could possibly want that? Well, the answer, woke corporate megastores seeking to inflate their multi-billion-dollar profit margins. The Durbin-Marshall credit card bill will undermine our safe and convenient payment systems and endanger your data security. It's time to take a stand. Visit electronicpaymentscoalition.org. Make your voice heard. Tell your senators to oppose the radical Durbin-Marshall credit card bill, paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
And bringing the family together every night around the radio.
These children are in need of an education.
The Mark Levin Show.
I want to continue with this, but first I want to do a footnote on this abortion statement by President Trump. Anybody who listens to this show knows I'm opposed to abortion. Everyone can have their own opinion. That's my opinion. President Trump's statement on abortion represents the constitutional and legal status before the Supreme Court nationalized the issue, the illegitimate. Even Ruth Bader Ginsburg criticized it but embraced it in Roe v. Wade. conservatives have been demanding for half a century, that is, the reversal of Roe. And the constitutionalists, joined by the so-called centrists on the Supreme Court, are to be credited with what they did. You see, they came under enormous pressure, they came under threats. They were, pushed around, bullied. The draft was leaked, not to issue a final determination. So if we are now to insist on a federal law to prevent all abortions or certain abortions, why wouldn't you think that the radicals would pass a federal law to allow all abortions of any kind nationally? In other words, who controls the federal? More times than not, almost all the time, they do. They would use a federal law to do the opposite.
Hi, I'm Margaret, a rhetoric and media major at Hillsdale College. Here's Hillsdale President Dr. Larry Arnn with a Constitution Minute.
Many argue today that the Constitution is outdated because it addresses problems peculiar to the 18th century so long ago. And some of it does read sort of quaintly. But consider the injunction against titles of nobility in Article 1, Section 9, for example. Is that so outdated? The purpose of that injunction is to prevent the government granting special privileges for partisan reasons. This strikes at the rule of law, the rule under which we're all to be treated the same. The crony capitalism so common today, where the government gives favors and tax dollars to some businesses and advantages over others, is exactly the kind of thing the Constitution was meant to prohibit. The Constitution is not outdated at all.
To learn more and get a free pocket Constitution, visit constitutionminute.com.
We'll take a look at KSFO traffic. We have a crash in Los Gatos, northbound 17 before Lark, off to the right-hand shoulder. And another wreck in San Jose, south 280 on the connector ramp to southbound Guadalupe Parkway. 2 cars involved in this one with a minor delay there. And then somebody lost a big rig tire in Windsor, south 101 at Arada Lane, middle lane.
Everyone has a community, a neighborhood, school, place of worship, or other chosen groups. Communities can provide support when you need it, including helping your kids avoid underage drinking and other substance use. Learn more at howtheyhearyou.samhsa.gov.
Hi, this is Ron Johnson from Utah. After 10 weeks of taking Andro 400, I lost 13 pounds and my waist went from 36 to 33. That was 8 years ago. I continue to take Andro 400 and I've maintained my weight at 172. Gained muscle and energy. I'm 63 now and feel better than I have in 30 years.
Hi, this is Sherry. My husband started taking Andro 400 a few months ago, and wow, has he ever changed. He's no longer a couch potato, and he actually likes to go out and do things again. Best of all, he lost his gut, and he's looking good. All I have to say about that is...
Andro 400, the natural way to increase your testosterone. Guys, if you'd like to lose your belly fat, gain energy and muscle, and feel like you did years ago, try Andro 400, the safe, effective, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Andro400.com.
Hey, let's talk replacement windows. There's a lot more to getting the best value than just how many dollars are being knocked off on a quoted window price.
We're Armstrong and Getty for Brothers Windows, and if you want to find the best and most cost-effective value, you have to look for things that truly make a difference, things you can depend on.
Things like quality, windows with the highest manufacturing standards, built with state-of-the-art quality materials, and features that will make your beautiful new windows last for years and years, and consistently save money on your energy bill.
Even more important is having your windows installed by industry-leading experts, true craftsmen that you can trust and depend on to back up their guarantees. That's what you get with Brothers Windows.
Brothers Home Improvement is a family of 9 brothers and sisters, always striving for their customers' complete satisfaction.
And they've been earning their customers' trust for 3 decades. Call Brothers for a free estimate.
Find what more than 80,000 happy homeowners have found. Brothers Windows Integrity Pricing delivers the lowest cost for value. Just go to brotherswindows.com.
Once again, that's brotherswindows.com.
Are you suffering from plantar fasciitis and associated heel pain? Does your heel pain interfere with your activities and lifestyle? Doctors at Center for Clinical Research are currently conducting a clinical study using investigational injectable study medication for people with plantar fasciitis. If you're 18 to 75 years old and not diabetic with plantar fasciitis, you may be qualified to participate. Please call call Center for Clinical Research at 800-363-1069 to see if you may be a candidate. Qualified participants will receive all study-related procedures and study medication at no cost, plus compensation for your time and travel. No health insurance is required. If you have plantar fasciitis, you may become part of this study. If interested in the plantar fasciitis study, call Center for Clinical Research at 800-363-1069. That's 800-363-1069. Call 800-363-1069 or visit our website www.healmyfoot.com.
Smokey the Bear.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
Only you can prevent wildfires.
brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
0, that's 800-894-6680. Again, 800-894-6680.
Like what you hear so far? Find out more about Mark Levin by going to his website at marklevinshow.com.
It won't work. I've explained exactly whom I'm talking about. Not an entire people, not an entire faith. But too many people and too many of that faith who hold that view. And it should be a shocking or provocative point. Which is why it's even more remarkable when you have heroes who are Palestinian, heroes who are Arabs, heroes who are Muslims, speak out and say things that could easily get them killed. Ever heard Khalid Hassan? Of course you have. He tweeted, "I'm an Egyptian native Arabic speaker in the National Security and Counterterrorism Research. I have an MA in Intelligence and National Security and over 14 years of experience. Members of my family fought the Israelis in the 73 and 67 wars. But I can tell you with confidence that the argument to suspend arms sales to Israel over the accidental killing of aid workers is anti-Semitic. There's nothing to do with decency, justice, or international law. You're singling out Israel when you haven't reacted the same way to the accidental killings of civilians by other militaries, including Arab militaries. If we, the UK, US, stopped selling arms to every military that has accidentally killed civilians, we would stop selling arms to every single military on the face of the earth. In fact, we would stop manufacturing and buying arms for our own military, which has repeatedly killed civilians by mistake in Iraq, Afghanistan, Somalia, and elsewhere." He says, "You will find below numerous examples of similar accidents in war zones. Please do not talk about something you don't understand." He says, "Do not. The Armin airstrike in Yemen in 2015, a Saudi-led coalition airstrike hit a wedding party in the village of Wahisha, near Aran, Yemen, killing at least 131 civilians and injuring scores more." But the strike was condemned by international human rights groups and highlighted the devastating toll in the conflict in Yemen. Qudet's airstrike, that would be Afghanistan 2016, a U.S. airstrike, as you know, targeting Taliban fighters in Qudet's Afghanistan, hit a civilian home, resulting in the death, he says, of at least 30 civilians. We know of at least 10, 7 of which were children. The incident occurred during a military operation to retake the city from the Taliban control and raise concerns about the accuracy of intelligence and targeting procedures. He says the Ghaziabad airstrike, Afghanistan 2008, a U.S.-led coalition airstrike targeted a suspected Taliban compound in the village of Ghaziabad, Afghanistan. However, the strike hit a gathering of civilians, including women and children, resulting in the deaths of at least 90 civilians, according to Afghan officials. The incident sparked protests and led to calls for greater accountability for civilian casualties. Kir Kana wedding party strike, Afghanistan, 2008. A U.S. airstrike targeted a wedding party in the village of Kahir Kanata near Herat, Afghanistan, killing at least 47 civilians, including women and children. The strike occurred after coalition forces received reports of military activity in the area, but mistakenly targeted the wedding celebration instead. Al-Ada camp bombing, Sudan, 1998. The U.S. military launched cruise missiles on a pharmaceutical factory in Khartoum, Sudan. Remember that? That was Bill Clinton. In response to bombings of U.S. embassies in Kenya and Tanzania, however, the factory was believed to be producing pharmaceuticals. The strikes resulted in civilian casualties, including workers at the facility. The incident raised questions about the legality and effectiveness of military responses to terrorist attacks. Al-Majala airstrike, Yemen, 2009. The U.S. drone targeted a gathering in the village of Al-Mahala in Yemen, believing it to be a training camp for Al-Qaeda militants. However, the strike hit a Bedouin camp, resulting in the death of 14 alleged militants, at least 41 civilians, including women and children. Bulabala airstrike, Afghanistan, 2009. A NATO airstrike targeting Taliban insurgents in the village of Bulabala, Afghanistan, hit a combi of vehicles, resulting in the deaths of at least 27 civilians, including women and children. NATO initially denied civilian casualties, but later acknowledged the mistake and apologized. Sana'a funeral hall strike, Yemen, 2016. A Saudi-led coalition airstrike hit a funeral hall in Sana'a, Yemen, where mourners had gathered, resulting in one of the deadliest single incidents of the Yemen civil war. The strike killed at least 140 people, injured more than 500 others. Mansoura airstrike, Syria, 2017. The U.S.-led coalition airstrike targeting ISIS militants in the town of Mansoura, Syria, hit a building where civilians were sheltering, including families displaced by the conflict. The strike resulted in the deaths of at least 150 civilians. It goes on and on and on. And yet Joe Biden uses the accidental death of 7 food volunteers to attack them. And Martha Raddatz brings the chief of this group on her program on ABC, who is a major league Israel hater and anti-Semite. There's a piece in the American Thinker that talks all about him. Of course, Martha Raddatz doesn't bring him on to talk about that. She brings him on where he just keeps saying Israel purposely did this, as if he's a member of Hamas. I'll get into more of that a little later. So the great Martha McCullum has John Kirby on her show. He won't come on this show, that's for sure. We tried, right, Mr. Producer? No response. And she says, well, excuse me, what about this wedding party? Excuse me, what about this aid worker for us who was killed and his whole family? 7 of them were children. You're out there attacking Israel for this WCK strike. Listen to how he responds. Cut 3, go.
But these are 2 different events.
They're not that different, though, John.
I know. I understand that the outcome. I get the outcome,
but why? So this was a trigger moment, it appears, for the White House, because obviously the momentum has been building to take a harder line against Israel and their tactics. But this was the event that really pushed things over the edge. And so why is it so different in terms of what Israel carried out in the midst of war? And, you know, these aid workers, and my heart breaks for them as it does for the 7 children who were with this man underneath this Hellfire missile. But the aid workers know that they are in a war zone and that they are taking a tremendous risk at risk of their own safety.
Yeah, well...
Now, this guy's supposed to be an admiral, right? You look at his background. I mean, seriously? So he knows all this. He knows what took place during Obama and Biden. He knows what took place. He was a mouthpiece for the Pentagon for years and years and years. He knows all these incidents that took place. Does his heart go out to all the other people who are dead? And after we killed that American aid worker, he wasn't American, but he was helping us, and 9 members of his family, including 7 children, Joe Biden went to Rehoboth Beach. Go ahead.
And as I understand that there's similarities here, but it would be I think, imprudent to try to compare two things that happened 3 years apart in two different conflicts.
What does that have to do with anything? This is my point. You heard what the Palestinian gentleman wrote. He's right. Now, this is the spokesman for the American president. Who's lying, who's waffling. Look, he's so committed to destroying the state of Israel and their ability to defend themselves. He's so committed to imposing a blood libel on them. He's so committed to the Dearborn, Michigan Islamists and Biden's re-election. This is the same mouthpiece who lied to us day in and day out at the end of Afghanistan. He has no shame. He has no conscience, this guy. I don't care if he dresses in a $1,000 suit. He's a slick talker. Let's go to cut 4, please. Go.
Is the Biden administration position still that there should be zero conditions on aid, military aid?
So this is where we are with the media, who are campaigning for the military strangulation of the state of Israel. Campaigning for it. Rather than confront him, as Martha McCollum did, is it still the position? She attacks him from the left. She attacks him from the Islamist Dearborn, Michigan left. That's what she does. Go ahead.
I'm not going to get ahead of the president or decisions he might or might not make going forward. He was very clear in his call with the prime minister that if we don't see some changes in their policies in Gaza and the way they're prosecuting operations...
So basically, and others wrote this over the weekend, so I don't take credit for being the brainchild of this, but it's brilliant.
Oh, it's a port right there. You can see that. I can see the USB port down here. Oh, boy. Yeah, only have the car for 2 days, so that's good.